welcome to another episode of Personality Quotient Conversation. The speaker I have with me here is the head of organizational strategy at KASB Securities and has also been a full-time corporate trainer in past. Let's welcome him on our episode. Hi, Sumair.
Hi.
Good to have you.
Same here.
Right, Sumair, we're going to be talking about leadership, a very overdone topic. I think everyone has talked and covered it in almost every conversation possible.
Okay, so let's not talk about it.
No, what
Just
is
kidding.
your definition of leadership?
Okay. As you said, it's a vast subject. There's so many different ways of looking at leadership. Some of the things which I'm really fascinated by nowadays. Firstly, let me actually just put a frame to it. For example, if I were to ask you the difference between a marathon runner and someone who runs the sprint, okay, different personalities.
Right.
At the finish line, what's the difference between a marathon runner and someone who runs a sprint?
Same.
Now I'm acting like a trainer. Well, sure, you want to win. That's probably the same thing. But if you look at the finish line, someone who's running a sprint, there are people next to that person who are just maybe inches away. So the difference is like microseconds. But if you look at a marathon runner,
Distance stuff.
there's lots of distance between the winner and the person who's second.
Right.
So the way I look at leadership is this, is that marathon runner is someone who has long-term orientation, and that's what a leader is, someone who has long-term orientation. The benefit is that if you look at the sprint runner, you're competing with a lot of people because everything is short-term. It starts and it finishes like that. In a marathon, you get time to pace yourself. So you start with a lot of people, but in the end, there are not many. So a true leader is someone who has long-term orientation, because if you are able to inspire people towards that long-term goal you have, you are competing with less people. So I think that's one of the ways I look at leadership.
But isn't that kind of a drawback that when leader only talks about the long-term goals, the short-term period, isn't that a loss because there's a lot of competition also?
Yes.
So how does the leader deal with that?
Okay. See, you can't meet your long-term objective without doing short-term actions. The beauty is that if you're just thinking short-term, just because other people are doing different things, you get bogged down with, okay, now let's change directions. Let's do this, let's do that. But if you're thinking long-term, you stick to your cause.
Agree.
Doesn't matter how many distractions there are, you stick to your cause. And that's the beauty. Another thing is that to get to your long-term vision, if you want to call it that, you have to do a lot of actions.
So you do have a bigger picture. It's how you go about it or reach that particular goal depends on your short term.
Absolutely. Because, leadership is all about action. If to reach your long-term goals, if you're not making or if you're not acting in the way that you're supposed to, you won't get there.
Right. Now, a lot of people also expect immediate results from a leader.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
How does one provide immediate results, take into consideration the long-term vision that he holds?
Okay. I think that's a fair question. See, anyone who is inspiring to achieve something which will take time need to also have some quick wins to keep people off your back. So quick wins are very important. They could be small projects, milestones, short-term objectives. So the actions that we were discussing earlier, those actions become your short-term goals. So yes, it's absolutely necessary that to build that credibility, that people believe in your long-term vision, you need to have those quick wins. Otherwise, nothing ever happens. So it's very crucial, yes.
Also, Sumair,
Yes.
a lot of people they only know the term leader. That's what they aim on becoming. I
Yes.
want to become a leader, but
Yes.
exactly what's the job of a leader is
Yes.
not something that we're clear about.
Yes.
Now, one big problem when it comes to a job of the leader is to lead people.
Yes.
Now, just because you're in a leadership position doesn't mean that people will eventually follow. You need to create your presence.
Yes.
How does one do that?
Wow. I think there are many ways. I've seen people who lead because they are charismatic. They are able to give great speeches. And then I've seen other leaders who are not charismatic, who, when asked to give a speech, they fumble.
Right.
But at the same time, they are very action-oriented. Little by little, they do a lot of things, which accumulates into bigger things. So there is no one set criteria. I think it's a vast subject, as we discussed earlier. Your intent is very crucial.
Right.
Your style will vary because the way you lead will be different than how I lead. So what does that mean? Does that mean that, oh no, it's not true? And leadership encompasses everything. It's not just about how you convince people. It's about how you manage yourself, how you manage your actions.
Right.
So leadership is vast because it covers everything. Everything you can think of under the sun is part of the leadership. I think one of the best qualities of a leader is to be able to make tough decisions. I think people who are successful leaders, they are able to make those tough decisions.
They are successful because they're able to.
Yes, either it means that it's going to hurt them, hurt others, because a point comes that you have to choose between two evils. At times, a lesser evil is necessary.
It's not always good, it's also bad.
It's also bad, but it is necessary.
Yeah.
So the idea is not to be indecisive. Make tough decisions. I think that is very crucial for any leader.
And how about the leading aspect of a leader? How to lead people?
Wow, I think the way I look at it, I think people are they're really looking for someone to inspire them. I think most people are.
Right.
So, to me, a good leader is someone who's able to inspire action. It could be through his or her friendly demeanor. It could be someone who's so focused and so dead set on one thing that other people do not have a choice but to follow that person because they are so convinced in the leader's conviction. So lots of things. The way I look at it is how you connect with people. Some people connect with others through interaction by showing their vulnerable sides. All right, that's one type of leader. There are other leaders who have the strength to be sad and disturbed, but not share it with anyone. So different styles, but it works for them.
So you use this one word.
Yes.
Because leader should inspire people, should inspire the followers.
Yes.
But because majority mindset is that leader motivates people. And the word inspiration is kind of lost.
Yes.
I think our main focus is on a leader being a motivator.
I've actually never understood that term, motivation. Even when I was a corporate trainer, I had a big issue with this term, motivator. Because how can you motivate people if they're not willing to find their own direction? There are people who tell funny jokes, who tell good stories, and what happens is people get motivated. But that's like for an hour maybe. After they're gone, it's done with. The challenge is to actually inspire people, and the way I see how inspiration works is if a leader is going an extra mile to do the things that he or she believes in. For example, I've seen people, they talk about this idea, they come in a meeting, they talk about this brilliant idea, and everybody's like, wow, let's do it. And then when it comes to actions, the leader doesn't do anything. So I mean, that was motivation for a little while, but did not inspire actions from others, because what you're doing is nothing.
You're the second person who says that to me.
Wow, okay.
Right, so before we end up the show, your
Yes.
ending notes.
Ending notes are very simple. I think leadership is not very difficult. I think we all have the capacity to lead people. It's the intent. If you're honest with yourself and you're honest to your cause, I think anything can be achieved. But if you're not sure what you want to do, and then you want to lead people, I think there'll be a problem. So be honest to yourself, be clear on what you want to do, and if not your great speeches, maybe your actions will inspire people.
Right, thank you, Sumair. Your
Thank
ending
you.
note was the
Okay,
best part.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
Right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For more personality quotient conversations, you can visit our website tv.personalityquotient.com.